Hi everyone. We've got a great live for you today. So come grab a seat, get your popcorn out, grab some tea or water. And I've got a very lovely guest who is going to be sharing her experience. She reached out to me several months ago of when she did a free breathwork session, which you can always access free breathwork in my bio there. So I'm just waiting for Lorraine to hop on here. All right, beautiful. So let's get right into it. Wherever you want to start. I was sharing that you reached out to me, and anyway, I can't wait for you to share your story and what happened. And just take your time.
Okay. So in 2021 and in 2022, I had breast cancer, and I was very lucky to only have very small tumours, two of which were removed in 2021 and one of which was removed in 2022. And because of the type of breast cancer, I was given radiotherapy after the surgery. But I was given 2 lots of radiotherapy 12 months apart. So it became, they were really very close together. And I didn't feel right about having the radiotherapy, and I actually felt bullied into having it. Because I'd read so much about it, and it just didn't sit right. I went in for the second treatment, for the second lot, and I said, I don't think I want to do this. And they took me in a room and said, you know, this will save your life.
Wow.
So I carried on and had it. And within a few months, I was experiencing real shortness of breath. And I'd been a really fit woman. I was a gym bunny. I used to go to the gym 3, maybe 4 times a week and do back-to-back classes, 1 cardio, 1 stretch and strength. No problem, no breathing issues, fit as you like for a woman of my age. And then I couldn't go to the gym anymore because I get breathless too easily. So even climbing a short flight of stairs, I do weight training now, but I do it with a cancer coach who keeps a real close eye on the colour that I'm going, and she watches my breath. She's looking for my heart rate to be going up because it goes up so quickly, and obviously it affects your strength and all sorts of things. So yeah, it's a real irritation. So long story short, I'm a very lucky girl. But hell, would I really like to go and do a cardio session again, or lift some weights without worrying? Yes, I would. And then I met Kimberly Rose by chance on a course being run by Kat Carroy for quite a different purpose. And I heard about her amazing breathwork. Are we allowed to still call it that, Kimberly Rose?
Yes. It is breathwork.
And so I reached out to her because I wanted to know if she felt that my lack of breath could be helped by doing some breath work. And she said, hell yes, and sent me a link to a little video that she has running on YouTube. Just a little freebie. I think it's probably 15-20 minutes long only. It's only a short one.
Yeah.
Well, so I thought, okay, nothing to lose, give it a whirl. Lay on my sofa, headphones in, and I started the breathwork, and I was really enjoying it and really feeling that, hey, there's something to this. And then all of a sudden, I could smell fire. I could smell like a barbecue kind of fire, not, like real burning. And I thought, did I leave the stove on? Did I leave something cooking? Did I leave a candle burning somewhere in the house? So I had to stop the video, the recording, and go and look. I actually searched the house looking for this fire, and it was like real smoke accumulating in my throat and chest. It was literally like being in a place where somebody's started to put a fire out with water or something, you know, that kind of real acrid smoke. And I immediately texted Kimberly Rose, because I was like, is this meant to happen? I can't believe this is happening. And she said, why do you think it's happening? And I said, well, I think it's, she said, this is radiotherapy. You've had radiotherapy. And I said, I have. And yeah, definitely. And I remember saying to you, well, they did burn me. And so that was my story about how I came to work with you a little bit, and trying to release this horrible fire in my chest. So we kind of joke about it now and said that Kimberly taught me to breathe fire.
Yeah. Oh.
So I'm now a fire-breathing woman, trying to shift this. It's been diagnosed as asthma now.
Okay.
But who knows?
Oh, girl, you get, I think I shared with you last week, or maybe it was someone else. If you do, I have a brand new free session. So the one I sent you, that was like a paid for recording. It was a 15-minute one. And I just sent it over to you. And the brand new one that I have in my bio, it's a full hour. So if you do what I'm getting, if you do one 60-minute session, if you do that session once a week, back to back for 5 weeks, it should clear it out completely. But you have to do the work.
I have started it. I started it last weekend. So I'm going to do another one this weekend, because you sent me the link.
Yes.
And I did it on Saturday. Oh, it's absolute bliss.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, if you don't believe in angels, you will during that session. It's
quite it takes you to, I think obviously it'd be different for everybody, and I didn't breathe fire this time, which is a relief. Yeah, because I got to the very end.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. But I think if anybody with any doubts about, I know this is going to help, if you see what I mean. I kind of know, I know that this is going to help me as much as I knew that I shouldn't go into that radiotherapy treatment. Mm-hmm. That's how strongly I feel about it.
Yeah, I believe so. What the oxygen therapy, what this breath work can do for people is it goes so deep into the tissues, into the organs, into the cells, into your blood, and it starts cleansing and purifying everything. And so when Lorraine reached out and said, is this normal? I smell burning. And I'm like, wait, didn't you go through radiation? Didn't you have cancer? Like, isn't that don't they have to fry your body and the cells? Or I don't know. If my sister's on here, she should hop on here. But send me a request. But that's what they say, that it's frying. Am I saying that right? That it's burning?
No, I mean they don't admit to anything. That they say and they say they're protecting your lungs, and they say they're protecting your heart and all of that. But you know, how can they? You know, if somebody can't stand in the room with you while you're having a treatment,
gosh.
I'm so sorry. It's just like when you have an X-ray, they don't stand in the room with you, do they? I mean, because they don't want to overload on it, I guess. But they can't be in there with you.
Yeah.
And the treatments are only, I think they were 7 or 8 minutes long, each one. But
did you ever taste or feel burning when you were in the treatments or after at all?
No, you don't feel anything. You can't feel anything. It's kind of, it's like sitting here in front of my phone talking to you, except you had eye protection, and on one occasion they gave me something to put across here to protect my heart. Yeah. But because it was the left breast. But no, I would. It's not something I would do ever again.
Yeah. Well, I've in 18 years of doing this, I've seen nothing but miracles and seen how the body can heal itself naturally. Ever since I was a little girl, I became obsessed with how can I heal myself? Like someone take this away, so, take away this feeling. God, help me. And I'd pray and nothing would happen. And I think that started my journey of trying to figure out how to heal my body when I was really little because I was
Well,
like in constant fear or turmoil. And then I did my first breathwork session and I'm like, that's it. That's what's the oxygen. It's going to heal me. And so that's why I became obsessed with it and just love telling people about it. So from what I've seen, yeah, just do, and everyone on here too, I have a free session in my bio. If you do I work with a lot of people with chronic illness, women with breast implant illness, all kinds of stuff, uh, rape victims, etc. It doesn't matter what you're going through. So if you just take your time and do the best you can, even if you can only do 15 minutes at a time to that video, just do it once a week. Just start small and work your way up. And you will feel the oxygen working on a cellular level, and you will you will feel it healing your skin and your organs and moving stuff around. And it's really a beautiful thing that our bodies are able to do this. I mean, our bodies really are a temple. And so I just, was there anything else you wanted to say about just whatever, just anything else you wanted to share about your experience? And thank you so much for letting everyone know about this.
well, I think it's important that people do know about the dangers of radiotherapy, and that they should ask lots of questions. And only, I'm not saying people shouldn't take their treatment, but you know, I think possibly the damage is because it was too quick, too close together, in the same area. And I just think people should be a little bit more trusting of their instincts.
Right.
But the trouble is, you aren't. You trust the experts,
Right.
especially when you're in that vulnerable position. So what I would say is, people should start doing breath work now.
Yeah.
Because then when you get into a stressful situation, when you get into situations where you have to make a judgment call like that, do I do this or don't I do this? You will trust yourself so much more. That's what I feel about the work that you're doing. It isn't just about treating the thing, the reason we start doing your kind of work. It's actually to improve the way that we think and we know our instincts,
Right.
so that we can trust our body.
Yeah. I thank you. I recently I was at the doctor's and they tried to bully and pressure me and say, well, if you don't do this, you're gonna die. And I'm like, please. I'm like, I'd rather breathe than do what you're telling me to do. So, and did some breath work, and what do you know? Things dissolved in my body. So yeah, I've experienced being bullied a lot. But yeah, anyway, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that, and your message is really important.
Thank you. But I'm here now.
Yes, you
That's what's
are.
important. And I'm able to share it with you.
Yes, and maybe we can come back in like a few months or something
I'll be
and see how those
happy to do that.
our weekly goes, because I work with a lot of people with asthma problems, and sometimes all it takes is one private session and it's gone. So the asthma, it might get trapped in there from when they were really little and they were a kid that was afraid, or their mommy and daddy were fighting, or something traumatic happened and then it made them stop breathing.
Yeah.
Or if they were born if they were born not breathing as a baby, or they had to be whacked to awake.
That's really interesting, because one of the things, the experiences I had, have you got time for this?
Oh,
one
yeah.
of the experiences I had on Saturday, the first long session that I did with you, was I went into, I don't know if you remember when you were a kid and you were really, truly upset and crying and you lost your breath. So you're actually going, that kind of real sobby, dry crying type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I remembered an experience that I had when I was maybe, I don't know, 4, where I was crying so much that it caused me to not to gasp for breath. So it's strange that you should have just said that, because obviously these things come from deep down, and
Yeah,
we don't realize they're in the cells, isn't it? It's there. The
it
trauma's in
is.
the body.
What a lot of people don't know about deeper breathing is it activates the part of the brain that stores memory. So even if you don't remember when you were 4 years old or
Okay.
whatever, when you start breathing, you're like, oh man, what was going on there? And then you actually, did it make you emotional seeing that? Like, oh, what did I need then?
I
Or
kind of felt it. It was a feeling, and it was almost like watching video, and it was almost like, oh, that happened. So I
yeah,
didn't feel upset again. There were other moments in that hour where I did weep, but I didn't have that crushing, desperate sobbing thing going
yeah,
on. But it's a funny old thing to remember that. It's
yeah.
weird.
So it will make you flash on memories that you've totally forgotten about. And,
Mm,
but the memories get stored in our
I
body.
do.
So, and some people are like, oh, leave the past in the past, which I understand. Yes, of course. But then when I'm doing breath work with 80 or 90-year-olds, guess what they talk about? They're talking about all the stuff they've been through because they're trying to get it out of their body. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just my opinion from what I've
But that
experienced. But
makes total sense to me.
so that's why it can be scary for people to try breath work, but this is really gentle. Because sometimes they're like, I don't want to see the past. And sometimes it's a body sensation. Sometimes it's just like, you just feel like an angel's whispering in your ear, like, you got this, you're enough. I love you. It's going to be okay. You know, so everyone's process is going to be different.
Yeah.
Um,
I think where I went with it, Kimberly Rose, was it was like it happened. I remember that happened. It can't hurt me. It can't hurt me now. It's done and it's gone. And that's where I was with it.
mm,
But and I suppose everybody processes it in a different way. But I'd rather face something like that, or even more traumatic, and then be able to breathe in a few
mhm,
weeks. Yes,
mm.
please.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll do to be continued on your journey. And thanks
Definitely.
again. My mom wrote, radiation burns, turns everything into leather. That's what she said. Um,
Yeah, I think she's probably right. Yeah.
how's your backbone doing? Whose backbone, Jasmine? Body remembers the feeling of trauma just like it's happening again. Yeah, and I actually get a lot of people who reach out to me and they're like, you don't have to go to the past in order to release it. But then when I'm doing one-on-one private sessions, when we go back to just talking about it for like 2 minutes, like, hey, what was going on 10 years ago, right before you got really sick? And there was something that happened that made their body shut down and protect themselves. So they've been bedridden or whatever's going on. So anyway, um, but it's like a nice reflection, an hour of deep breathing, slow, gentle, as gentle as we can get it. And then once the body sees once you see what you need to see, then it releases. And so after my first breathwork session, I was like, there's got to be more in there. I just saw, I was raised with nuns and they always punished me. I was always in trouble. I was the
Well, I
troublemaker
can
in class.
imagine.
I was the rule breaker and I didn't agree with anything they were teaching me. I thought it was a scam. And so they didn't like me very much, but they didn't know how to handle me. But my first breathwork session, it's like I saw a glimpse of every time the nuns punished me. And then at the end, just for not even really doing anything, I'm just talking and I got punished, just got a big mouth. And at the end of the session, my body was like, oh man, they're innocent. It was like a forgiveness. The whole session was about like kind of seeing things, what happened really as I'm older, as I'm adult. And then my body just said, it's all good. Like I love them and they don't know any better. And they're innocent. It's just how they were raised or what they were taught how to be tough on us. And anyway, blah, blah, blah. I could talk for years about all the things that I've experienced and other people. So um, Thank you. And
Pleasure.
um, before we close, tell everyone a little bit about who you are and what you do. And we should have done this in the beginning, but
Oh, gosh, no.
and
Well, thank you for that.
they can give you a follow.
If they want to, certainly. I'm Lorraine, and I am a feng shui consultant with a bit of a twist in that I don't tend to follow any conventional patterns, or I do, I weave them all in, because I've been doing this for over 35 years, something like that. And it's my passion for people to understand that they can actually make change to their lives, and they can get out of patterns, and they can get unstuck just by moving a few things in their house. And it drives me insane that people don't get this. So that's my mission, to
I
get
love it.
people to understand that moving this from here to here just might make all the difference to them. So that's what I do, teach them a process, a little bit like you do, but this time in their space, to help them
I love
understand
that so
it and
much.
read it.
When,
They read their space.
yeah.
Yes.
When I redo my space, I'm in a very small space. When I do redo it every few months, I redo it, and it brings in abundance. I can't explain it, but you know,
Yeah.
when things are clean and clear energy, it changes my mood. There's stuff in the corner over here that I'm looking at. I'm like, that's got to be blocking me. That is stuckness with working out. I got the Peloton with all the clothes on it. It's driving me nuts. It's the only thing in my little apartment that like looks decent, you know, that I can shoot with that background that it's kind of decent, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got to work with what I got.
But the shape of it might also have a bearing, and we can tweak that, and the entrance can have a bearing on how you feel. And it's all about treading that pathway, because if you keep treading the same pathway, the same things keep happening.
I believe in that
and
so
we
much.
fall down the same hole.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't need to be in the same hole.
It's really hard to get out.
It's time to fly.
But we can help you to avoid the hole completely.
Yeah. And do you do Zoom sessions?
I do. I work mostly online now.
Awesome.
And I teach. I work online. I work with people on one-to-one basis, and also I run group teaching sessions of classes of 10 weeks. There's only 9 people in each group, so it's a really intimate group, and we learn about each other's space, and they learn all about feng shui at the same time, and they come away with their feng shui specs, looking at their space in a completely new place, and it creates these amazing transformations. So
great.
Yeah.
Well,
and nobody needs to know you have been doing feng shui. This is all about subtle change, subtle differences. It is not about painting walls red. It is not about hanging wind chimes. It's just not. It's all about you.
Well, you just inspired me. After I get done with work today, I'm going to reorganize my place again. So get the energy flowing.
What brings you joy? Whatever brings you joy.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right. Well,
so thank you for that, Kimberly Rose. I appreciate you allowing me to talk about what I do as well.
Of course. I again, I should have done this in the beginning, but it's all good. All my love, and I'm gonna post this on our feeds, and I'll this will go to you all.
Okay.
And thanks again for sharing your story and being brave enough to share what you went through.
Absolutely, my privilege. And I just, I will encourage anyone to give this a go.
Yes,
definitely.
Okay,
I'll be there tomorrow.
Awesome.
Loads of love, Kimberly Rose.
Have a good evening where you're at. All right, have a good day, everyone.
You have a good
Bye-bye.
day.